And then we're going on the street constantly, like showing them, no, as long as you're willing, this is for you. Like there's more, as long as you're breathing, there's still hope for you. There's still a chance that things could change. And I might not know how to get you from A to Z, but I know who does. And I know that he has the miracles and the breakthroughs and the open doors that you need to get there. Hi, I'm Jason Everman.
And I'm Vanessa Everman, and we are founders and pastors of Lost and Found Ministries. One of our best and biggest testimonies is we have a guy that we had served for probably, a few years, and at the time he was 21, and he had left his house when he was 16, and he was on the street, 16 to 21, just in the throes of addiction. We ministered to him every week. Through a chain of events, he ended up getting arrested. While he was in jail, one of his best friends OD'd and died. So when he got out, he heard that happened. There was a big memorial that we put on and all the things that went with that to try to process that. But at the end of our outreach, one day, we hadn't seen him for a little bit, and he came up and he told Jason, he said, I need to get off the streets. I'm going to die out here if I don't.
He also said, I think I need to get baptized.
Yeah.
And the day came, and he's like, you don't want to come get me. I'm too far away. It's too far out of your way. Just go ahead. And I'm like, no, if you want to do it, let's do it.
Jason was actually able to baptize him at church. He was ready for a change. And so when he got in the car and he was talking about needing a job, but the other guy that was also getting baptized that morning that we had picked up said, hey, you need a job? Call this number, I'll get you a job. So he instantly got a job.
And he's like, I've been trying to change my life for years. I've been trying to get a job for years.
He had gotten a tent, and we were going to take him to a different part of Austin to where he wouldn't be downtown surrounded by, temptation. And Jason took him to go find him a place to stay, and he couldn't. And he called me, and he said, I cannot leave him here. And I said, okay, for one night, he can come stay in my home. 3 years later, he lived with us. He started working day one, never stopped. He became a part of our family. During that time, he reunited with his family, which he had been estranged from for years. Reunited with them. They started inviting him over for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Became a part of their family again.
Years of healing.
He moved from our house. He got his own place. He got his own car, still working, and just recently he moved off to another state to live with his family again. So that's like my favorite story of just what a little bit of love and discipleship can heal.
Well, I was actually explaining to someone and talking to someone about our ministry over a decade ago, and I just all of a sudden just had this vision drop in my heart, and I immediately started calling it Restoration Ranch, and have been praying for over 11 years for a Restoration Ranch, for a place where God showed me that our family would live, but we would be able to offer transitional housing for those in the right timing and the right moment of their life that needed that next step right before their breakthrough.
Fast forward 11 years. Back in May, we have a friend, or really was kind of an acquaintance at church, and God had given him a dream to have a property almost exactly what our dream was. And we had never shared our dream with him. He will say God kept waking me up in the middle of the night because of you guys. And he told him, you're going to do this and the Evermans are going to live in it. He came up to us at church one Sunday after church and said, I have a property that I'm going to go see today, and I need you to come with me to see if it would fit your family. And I think we're still kind of blown away and really like what's going on. But so in November, this property was purchased, and it's got a home for us. It's got a little home for my mom, who's a part of our ministry, and it's got tiny homes that are transitional homes.
People say you won't do that, can't do that, shouldn't do that, you didn't earn that. And all we know is to stand in faith and to pray into things that He puts on our hearts against the odds. We should have 5 homes that are going to be ready beforehand. We'll possibly have 6 homes. There's another small one that we're going to work on. Most of the homes already have insulation and some wood on the walls. What we want to do is make them more homey. So we want to put some laminate flooring down or some linoleum flooring, some trim, texture on the walls. Right now they have shop lights. We'd like to put like either fans or something that makes a little bit more homey lighting in there. But they're ready to go as far as electricity wise. They all got electricity to them, so they just need to be prettied up. As far as landscaping, we want it to look good out here, but we got a lot of usable land, but it's overgrown, so we need a big lawnmower. We need a riding lawnmower if people want to come out here and help us chop up some wood and cut down some things and make it a little bit more walkable and like a park. It's got some really nice land.
So one exciting thing we have on the property is a community room. Well, and we actually would like to call it like the living room to make it a little more homey. It's going to have a full kitchen, a couple good bathrooms, and we want to make it a place to where it's very welcoming and inviting, and we can have discipleship and mentorship, maybe some sozos if they're needed. We can do some worship times, we can do Bible studies,
Special
meals. I want it to be a place where people can feel comfortable coming and gathering. Community is where things are built. And just putting somebody in a home and saying, here's your transition is not it. We've got to get them pulled in, and then that way we can get them pulled into maybe even our own home church. And there's also a spot, we want to have a garden to produce vegetables, fruits, whatever we can make or grow, and share with not only our property here, but with our church community. If we have a pretty good sized garden, which is also an opportunity for people who live on property to help prepare the garden, work the garden, just to give them something to do immediately. We can provide for somebody who may be in need at church or in our own church community.
If it's a weekend, or if it's 6 months, or wherever God takes it from there, but we know that this is just going to be a step for them to be loved on, to break some chains, to move forward, to find healing, and to walk into their destiny that the enemy thought he could still kill and destroy. But the Lord has given them the opportunity. We're looking for prayer partners. We're looking for people that can cover what we're doing in prayer, that can partner with us, that can intercede for what we're going up against.
We're also looking for people to partner with us hands-on, whether that is financially support us because we will have extra expenses with extra people living on property as far as electricity and water and all of those things. But also it's just, there's operating costs, for the whole thing. Maybe a group, maybe a church group, maybe your life group, I don't know, whatever you feel that God wants you to do, whether it's financially or tangibly, we'd love to have you partner. We want to honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, thank anybody who's partnered with us over the past 11 years, whether that's financially, whether that's physically, whether you've donated a meal or whether you've donated a pair of socks or whatever it is. We could not have done any of the things that God's called us to do without the backing of the people, whether it's financial or physical. From the bottom of our hearts, we just want to thank you for making it to where we could continue to minister for almost 11 years, 12 years now.
All these lives that we've been able to sow into and love on, and the transformations that we've seen, even our own life. And we're looking forward to what the future holds, to what God's trained us for, to continue to see so many lives change, and the opportunities that are not only still on the streets of Austin, but now even here on our own property, to be able to open those arms even wider and see even more people changed in deeper ways that we've been praying into for years. Whatever part you are a part of that, pray about it, seek God about it, ask Him where you can help us.
In whatever way that is, you will be blessed. You will be blessed by seeing somebody else's life transformed and the trajectory of their life changed. It's hard to put into words how blessed I am and how great it is to know that God's using me to change somebody's life, which will then affect the future of so many other people.
And all the testimonies we get to have, all the breakthroughs we see, all the healings and the lives changed, those are the same testimonies you get to latch onto, and you get to turn around and you get to give someone else, no matter where you are in the process with us. Those are your testimonies to hold on to and give away as well.